morning, all SD brothers and sisters. Good morning, all new friends. How are you feeling today? How about yesterday? I hope you have enjoyed yesterday, right? A lot of interesting session, right? Before I start, I just want to have a quick check over here. Do we have any new friends that come here for the first time? Can you put up your hands? I can see you. Wow. And I heard that there are quite a number of people came outside from this region, beyond Singapore and Malaysia. Right? You have anyone that come from Europe? Europe? Yeah, we have a couple of friends there. How about from Pacific? Quite a big number. How about beyond that? Anyone from Africa? We have Africa here? Wow, you bring a flag. Amazing. Can we give a warm round of applause? I think she's going to start our LTS, our big convention in South Africa a few years later. Well, it's always very enjoyable to be here. The last time in January, we have the last one in LTS. I think it's the same place right here. Yeah, because I'm not here. I was not here. I happened to be in the United States. And this time round, right, I'm so honored to be invited by System to be able to share with you this morning. Can we give System a round of applause? Because it's not easy to be invited, right? And I also want to take the opportunity for those of the leaders who have shared yesterday, right, including, I think, for this whole day, we still have a lot of speakers, a lot of leaders who have shared their own journey together with us. I hope that you can give all these leaders a warm round of applause. I just feel for yesterday, right, Belinda's sharing was fantastic. You agree? Right, Derek's sharing was also very fantastic. And we closed with a high last night with Nicholas sharing, right? Shall we give all these three speakers, three leaders, a warm round of applause? What I mentioned that they are leaders, they're not speakers, we are not paid for your information. None of us are paid, right, to be shared on this stage. And all the leaders who share on the stage over here, basically it's all on voluntary basis, right? They just share their own experience in this journey. And today, this morning, right, I think after you're hearing about product technology, about the culture, the values of the business, and this morning I'm going to touch a little bit about the business. How many of you are interested in a business opportunity? Can you put up your hands? Still a lot of people want to make money, right? Yeah, I think health is important, right? Happiness is important, right? But having money will make us even happier, right? Yes or no? Seems that only a small chunk of people are interested in money. Right? Well, we are not so money-faced, but I think money is important, right? You agree? Because money is a medium of exchange for a lot of good quality services and products, right? So that's why that nothing shy of, knowing how to make money. So this morning, right, I'm going to touch a little bit about business because many of you probably be curious, right? And why is it that this business model can attract so many professionals, so many talented people, right? Yes or no? Right. In fact, we just came back from Dubai. I think, I'm not sure whether yesterday anyone that shared about Dubai trip, right? We have a team lead trip, a global team, global leaders has been gathering together in Dubai. So it's an interesting city. I don't know how many of you actually went to Dubai before or never been to Dubai. Been to Dubai? How about the rest? Yeah, I think not many people have traveled to Dubai before, but I believe that you heard about Dubai before. Yes or no? Right? In fact, this is the second time that I went to Dubai. Right? The first time I went to Dubai, I was pretty impressed, by reading from what the success about Dubai. Right? By reading, I cannot feel it. Only when we experience it, we realize that it's really an amazing city. How the city has been transformed. Yes or no? Right, for those of you who have never traveled before, I would suggest one day you should go and experience that country. Right, so we were there having a global leaders meeting. At the same time, we were very inspired by this country. Right, as we were there, having a meeting at the same time having fun, and getting to know about this city, this country, and we later realized that how important, right, the vision. All right, vision is so important for any person or even a country. Yes or no? right? I think the great transformation from this city is basically the leaders has got a bold vision, long-term vision, and see a lot of possibilities, right? How can this country, amidst the Middle East countries, they can transform themselves. So today, right, so that's why when we went over there in Dubai, we realized that we see a lot of amazing infrastructures, amazing buildings, and some of these buildings are, some of the infrastructure are actually world number one. Amazing, right? Yeah, so I think that this is something that's very amazing. But what is more amazing is that, right, the leaders in New Skin. Because when we go to Dubai, right, what happened? Not rain, it's downpour, it's flood, it's more than just rain, right? I have a friend that stay over there, he said that, this country has not have experienced such a downfall for the past 75 years. So I was just thinking that, wow, we bring a lot of wealth, bring a lot of rain to Dubai, right? Seems like everywhere I go, always rain. I touched down in KL because I'm not sure, right? We were in Dubai, and then after which I went to London. I just came back like 3 days ago. Yeah, 3 or 4 days ago. So, that I realized that I heard that in Singapore and Malaysia it's very hot. But when I come back again, rain. Yeah, I think I should change my name to Sunshine. But anyway, right, rain, water means wealth, especially for the Chinese, right? Yes or no? So today I bring wealth to you. Is that okay? Well, let's talk back about the power of vision, right? About the country leader and how it shaped a small country, right? In fact, Dubai was just a fishing village, like Singapore, like Shenzhen, right? Very small city. They discovered oil in 1966, so many years ago. So they started to become rich. But for most of the time, right? You think about it, when you get rich, most of the time you realize that we get complacent, right? We get comfortable, right? We are not willing to innovate and change. Yes or no? But this country is very unique, right? What they are having wealth, sudden wealth, right? That, they discover oil, but they are not complacent. Because we all know that there are a lot of countries that produce oil, they have a lot of wealth from the natural minerals, but they never improve themselves. So the leaders think otherwise, right? They started to invest, started to think of a lot of possibility. This is the reason why today, right, after 20 years, this is not working. Which way should I point? It's not working. Okay, so after 20 years, right, you can see the transformation. Basically, this was taken in 2005 and the latest last year. Can you see how a city has been transformed over just short 20 years? Right? And what is amazing is that, when I did some research on this country, I realized that they do not just stop at what they have right now. Right? They already have a lot of world number one. Right? But today you realize that I searched on the internet, right? They have a refreshed new vision for themselves for the next 10 years. So I'm not sure about you, right? As you are sitting here, whether you are already doing the business or you are just a new friend over here exploring a lot of possibilities in the future for the next 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years, right? A decision of a country leader will shape the destiny of the future of the country, the citizens, right? In fact, any individual like us, right, when we have a vision, when we are able to fulfill our vision in the future, we are going to change a lot of our families, a lot of life of the family members, yes or no? So is that important? Right, so this morning, I'm going to touch a little bit about the importance of vision and how vision has helped me to fulfill a lot of possibilities in this platform, right? I think what is more important is that, as I read, right, Dubai is not just by successful themselves, but at the same time, right, they created a lot of influences around the neighboring countries. Middle East is blessed with a lot of natural minerals, especially oil, and they are rich, right? But because of the success story from Dubai, it started to influence the neighboring countries. Interestingly, today, if you look into it, right, whether it's Qatar, whether it's Saudi Arabia, they are transforming, right? For those of you who travel, right, probably they travel to Qatar or even in Saudi, Qatar, basically, I think they were just having a World Cup in 2022, right? I think about 2 years ago. Right? We never imagined that a Middle East country will host World Cup. Can you imagine that 10, 20 or 30 years ago? We never imagined that, right? But today you realize that, right, Qatar, the first Middle East country, they actually host World Cup in 2022. That was 2 years ago. Amazing. So, and Saudi, right? In fact, Qatar has got a similar version of a vision, right? They have a vision, they call it, a new vision 2030, talking about the Qatar development. Can you imagine that such a rich country, right? They're still thinking about the possibility, the vision they can cast for themselves and their citizens. How about individuals like us? Saudi is the same thing, right? They are all very rich. In fact, Saudi, I read somewhere about their 2030 vision. They want to transform themselves to even promote tourism. Yeah, right? So we all know that tourism can begin a lot of business, but for all these oil-rich countries, they are so rich already, but why would they thinking about all this possibility? They started to have crisis mentality. They started thinking of future, right? What if these natural minerals got depleted? Yeah, and the replacement by EV, the electric vehicle. So that's why that most of the times, right, you could be the leader of your own family. You are probably the sole breadwinner, right? Or important figures, the key person in your family. Our decision will affect the destiny of your family members, yes or no? Yeah, so this is something that I find is so important that without a vision, right, people will perish. A country will perish. So this morning I'm going to touch about how I went through my journey in this platform for this is my 24th year in the business. Okay, so I went through 23 years. So basically, firstly, all right, I think yesterday you listened to Belinda sharing, you know how amazing our product is, right? Yes or no? So this is a true testimonial. When I first started, especially if you look at my first photograph, I was still pretty young. I started way back in December 2000. When I first started, over the years, you can see that how much is transformed, right, with this product technology. I cannot imagine myself, right, if I'm not involved in this platform. And because by involving in this platform, I get exposed to a lot of great product technology. Of course, I'm a good consumer. I took a lot of products, right? That's why over the years, you realize that I don't really age that much comparatively. So I cannot imagine myself that if I do not get involved in this platform, right, for the last 23 years. So this is on the good side, right? And how product benefits can benefit a consumer, right? I think for most of you who are here today, right, many of you actually experience our product, especially our TR90 product, right? You slim down, you gain back the health, right? You didn't really think about the possibility about opportunity, or you don't even know about it at all, right? See, I think for most of you are good customers. Some of you tend to be a loyal customers. So customer means that we just spend money. Right? Would you be interested to find out, right, while you spend money to maintain yourself, at the same time, you could potentially shape your destiny and change your future? Yes or no? Yeah, how many of you are interested? If I gather enough hands, then I will start to continue to share. If not, I will just come down. I bet that no one, right, will reject the offer of using the product for free. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? I think nobody will reject the offer whereby you realize that use the product, right, for free. At the same time, potentially you can make some extra income. Yes or no? Right? For some of us, you realize that we don't mind, right? If I just I can help to transform myself, I can help people around me. At the same time, I can build a fortune, wealth. So we are talking about something that is real, right? Legitimate business. Well, I think something that hits me when I first started, right? I was just 27, 28 years old, young man back then, seeking out for new direction in my life, looking for possibility, opportunity, right? So when you get to know about New Skin platform, right, I was inspired by the mission, right? Later I'll share with you why is this important, right? Basically, I think for all our business builders, we all know that our mission is to be a global force for good by empowering people to improve lives with innovative products, rewarding opportunities, and enriching culture. I think the first thing is about global force for good, right? The first thing the three things that I got inspired was the first thing is about global, Of course, force for good is important because we want to do good things, right? Given a choice, if you could make money, okay, would you prefer to do good things or bad things? That means guarantee you'll make money, right? Would you prefer to do good deeds or bad acts? Good things, right? So when I heard about this statement, I'm not sure how true it is, but that's way back like 23 years ago. But I roughly think that it's true because when I first started, the company has been around for 17 years. It's not a new startup, right? So there are a lot of good testament whereby they do a lot of things, right, to support this statement, whether it's an innovative product with the R&D team, right, the great culture that they have, right, the rewarding business opportunity that transform a lot of people's life. So at a point of time, right, for most people, I think they just look into the business statement. But the thing that for me, because I was looking for an opportunity. So, in any opportunities venture, we need ideas. Yes or no? Right, so I got inspired ideas, right, from the statement of 3 important ideas that I got inspired, right? It could be just information. For most people, you realize it when you read the mission statement. But, if you are able to digest and convert to business ideas, and subsequently you are able to execute ideas, then that's where you realize that you can create potential business for yourself. So the 3 inspired ideas that I got from this mission statement was, the first one is Global Opportunity Platform. Why I'm inspired? Because I came from Singapore, right? I built my insurance business in Singapore with 25 years ago, it's only by 2.5 to 3 million population. So, definitely I got inspired by global opportunities because of the limitation of the country, right? The resources is very small. So for those of you, probably you come from a big countries, you cannot appreciate that because coming from a Singapore market, such a small market, right? 2.5 to 3 million population, I was just thinking for myself, if this platform allows me to build a global opportunities or global business, it would be very interesting, yes or no? Yeah, so that was the first idea I was being inspired. The second idea was innovative product technology. So I was starting to think about the possibility. If what this company talk about and they can deliver, they talk about innovative product technology, right? Meaning that the possibility that, right, there will be a lot of people going to benefit from the product. Yes or no? Yes? Yeah, so I was inspired, I think, right? If they have the ability to continue to innovate themselves, invested in R&D, right? Meaning that, yeah, I think this business can be sustainable because some products you realize that they can get out of trend. They probably can get hot, get trendy for like 3 to 5 years or 1 decade. Subsequently, you realize that they're not around anymore. So when I look into this innovative product technology, I started to have a lot of imagination, right? Not just making money for 1 year, but making a sustainable income over a long period of time, right? So this gave me a lot of inspiration. The third ideas that I got from this statement was exclusive channel profits. So I'm going to share a little bit about this part, right? Which I think that that makes the difference compared to me with a lot of people involving in this industry. I think most of us actually get exposed to direct selling or network marketing business, right? Because that is part of our, the word of mouth marketing. People share products together with us. But I think the reason why that we attracted a lot of professionals over here or even business owners, because we started to look into this business model in a different perspective. So what is the difference, right? Basically, you realize that you have customers. I think every business needs customers. You need to have a lot of customers. But customers spend money, right? Customers don't make money. So for the product, the end product for the manufacturer to the end consumers, right? You always have a distribution channel, right? So when I heard about the presentation about this opportunity platform, to talk about 6th generation 5%. For those of you who have presented our rewards program, rewarding business opportunity, 6th generation 5%, right? To you, right, to many people, their first impression will be thinking that this is MLM, right? You talk about multi-level marketing, right? But, when I look into that rewarding business opportunity program, I started to understand why they paid out the money, right? You must understand why they paid out the money. Then it makes sense, right? So basically, you realize that all this so-called the plan, the rewarding business opportunity, it was just a channel, right? The product channel for the manufacturer, right, to reach to the customers. Either they pay to the movie stars, they pay to the models, they pay to the advertisement, right? And all these are channels for them to reach out to the customers. But on the other hand, all these cost savings from the traditional marketing channels, these all cost savings are saved and transferred into a profit sharing pool to be distributed to the people who are willing to share the products and the opportunity to a lot of people. Does it make sense to you? Yes or no? So why I mentioned about exclusive, right? Because when you expand, right, your channels, when you expand your business in every part of the world, you're as good as like a regional marketing director, but right, you get the share forever. Isn't it interesting? Right? So can you imagine that, like, I think Derek was a regional marketing role before, right? If you are in a corporate, you could be in a corporate role for 10, 20, or 30 years. You could be a CEO. After that, you have to open the market from Singapore, expand to global, right? You build a company to become very big. But once you step out of the company, right, you do not own any shares that you have built over the years. You got it? Right, so why is this that 6th generation 5%, what is the impact? Impact means that when you build up to expand in whichever market you are, you get exclusive rights. So-called you have exclusive profits. In business, we call it monopoly profits. So literally, the evil line said you not just get one time of the commission, but you enjoy the lifetime exclusive. So I was excited not because of the just 6th generation 5%, how much money I could make, but I'm more excited by what are the possibilities with this platform, right? So I'm not looking into commission, because commission is for people who sell product, yes or no? Right, but in business, we talk about profits. So profits means that you realize if you look at our rewarding business opportunity, the compensation plan, right, the paid out, right, is really to a business, you don't invest any money. The most you invest in your own health, right, to become fitter. At the same time, the income is unlimited. Don't you think that is very, very, very inspiring? Only 5 of you think inspiring. That's why you're not standing here. Right, the same opportunity, the same company, the same product, the same comp plan being presented to thousands and tens of millions of people, but everyone have different perspective. Right, so this morning I'm sharing with you my perspective. I may not be right, I may not be wrong, I'm not sure, because everybody will think they are always right? But I'm just sharing my perspective that when I was presented about this mission plan, I never thought about direct selling. I never thought about MLM, multi-level marketing. When I look into the whole mission statement and what they deliver in terms of the innovative product technology, and they keep to the promise and paying, right? It's easy for you to pitch, to talk about how much money I can go to give you, but it's difficult for you to deliver. You agree with me? So consistently for the last 17 years when they first started, until today, 40 years in the business, they never fail to deliver every month over month. So that is why when I look into the whole thing, right, it was just more and beyond just direct selling and multi-level marketing business, but rather it's a fantastic business model, right? Which you outsource most of the cost centers, which is the most unprofitable one, or don't make money at all, to a third party who is more reliable, right? They absorb all the risks and the cost while we focus on the marketing of the brand at the same time, right? And sharing products to the people around us. Does it make sense to you? Right? So basically you realize that these two divisions are the most profitable one that bring the revenue, right? So this is how I was inspired. If you ask me, do I know how to do the business? I do not know. So that's why in any ideas, right, everything that we do, right, first you need to question yourself, including for many of you who came over here, why? Right, we are not a motivational seminar. We are not motivational speaker. We never get paid. We never get trained to become a motivational speakers, right? And the reason why we are able to share over here because the journey that we went through. So these ideas give me a lot of inspiration. Inspiration comes from within. Motivation comes from external. So when you have inspired, you realize that you do not need motivation because you know why are you doing this. So exactly, if you ask me my success formula for the last 24 years and here today, I'm still able to, right, I'm so passionate about the business because I know what is the eventuality. Because what is the final outcome for most of the people who believe in it and commit themselves, right? So The two things that I want to share with you over this morning, right, if you want to take away, right, is about possibilities and probabilities. Right, I study economics and study statistics. So basically, you realize in life, right, a lot of choices that you make, including today, I don't know what job you're doing. You've got to ask yourself for the next 3, 5, 10, and 20 years, right? What are the possibilities? Right, I don't know what you are doing, right? But you can question yourself, right? And some of the things you are doing right now, probably for 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years, you're very familiar, right? So you start to think about what are the possibilities. In any platform and any opportunity, if there's no probability, if there's no possibility, meaning that the probability is equals to, hello? You get confused, right? 0. Right? So you need to start to look for a platform, right? An opportunity that gives you possibility. So when I saw the platform, right, in New Skin, I saw a lot of possibility for my future. So how do I work? The next thing, if there is a possibility, what is next? Work on your probability. Right? So the possibility of 6.5%, I know, wow, that is a lot of possibility. Right? So how do I be able to achieve the end outcome? You need to start working on the probability. Right? How do you increase the probability from 1% to 5%, 10%, 15%? Probability, sometimes you realize that you get it from your confidence, your expertise, your experience. So the more experience that you have, the more you know about the business, right? You become expert, the probability of your success become higher and higher. Does it make sense to you? Yes or yes? Yeah, I think this is simple, right? So when you understand about this, right, you will start to be able to review better for your life right now, okay? So I started to cast vision for myself. I got the inspired ideas right from the platform. You know, I started to cast vision for myself. So nobody can help you until you help yourself. Right, is it fair? Right, so I think that after today, right, when you go back, the most important thing is that you're not here to just rah-rah, right? Well, you see a lot of things always happening, but the most important thing that you need to start to cast vision for yourself. What is the possibility with the future? Partnering with this platform. 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Right? The reason why I move so fast in the business is because I have no distraction. Because I addressed my why in a very, very early stage. Right, because I just got interviewed also by some people asking me from Taiwan. Yeah, some of the Taiwan leaders, the new team leader, were asking me how come I can move so fast. Because I already exactly know when I first started on the first day, I already exactly know what I wanted the other day. Of course, I'm fast, right? But if you're still searching for direction, of course, you're slow. Because you always get distracted by people pitching you for a lot of better ideas, right? Better opportunities, and you don't know, you cannot move, right? So I cast a vision for myself, and I started to draw my future. So this graph that you've seen, right, in a lot of classes in ST, it was actually created not for the class. Like a lot of the sharing over here, you realize that it's not a class, right? It's my experience, right? It's something that I do it for myself, not for to teach other people. So I first started to craft my future. What are the possibilities with this platform? And if I do not choose this platform, right, what are the outcomes? So, like for most people, I think you know that I never start with employment. Straight after graduation, I went to insurance, being a self-employed, right? That's why this image that I have, right, on the first day, I know that most like 80% or 90% of people that choose employment. The end outcome is confirmed, back to zero. Back to zero. No matter how capable you are, well, I know sometimes you realize that you get a little bit emotional attached to what you are doing because you're doing so well, right? But most of the time you realize that for whatever you work, no matter how capable you are, you could accumulate some money along the way, but whatever you do, at the end of the day, by the time you're asked to go, you have to go. Whether it's 55, whether it's 60, whether it's 65, right? The company will ask you to go. That is a sad, cruel facts, but nobody willing to accept it. Why? Because people like to follow the crowd. Right, your friends, the people around you, you realize that, right, everybody is looking for a job. Then I need to look for a job. But they never question themselves, why looking for a job is this the only option, exit strategy for me to retire young? They never think about it, right? They just think of that, I just want to make money. That's the reason why that you want to make money is not a good enough question you should ask yourself. Right? It's not a good enough question. Because if you just think about making money, right, it's very short term. There could be a lot of avenues for you to make money. And many times you will make different wrong choices. You need to start to think about what kind of money you want to make. That is the right question you need to ask yourself. Right? And that is also inner confidence into you, right? You have no problems in making money. That's called inner confidence. It's just that where you want to put your time and resources, right, into whatever platform that yields the better result for you. So right at the start, when I graduated from school, I never thought of going to employment because I know that's an outcome. I don't care about my friend telling me my friend telling me, oh, my starting pay is 3,005 because most of us, you realize that we came out, we got 2,000, 2,005, right, in Singapore, right? And some of them, you realize that they are achiever. They have good results. They are scholar, right? They even have an intern before going to the before going to the full-time employment. They get 3,005, right? They got 5,000. To be honest, right? When I first started, I was never impressed by all this number. I was never impressed because I know at the end of the day, you realize that whatever you are, you will be back to zero. And some people, and for most people, you realize that we get downsized, we get retrenched. Right? Why? Because in any business that you do, right, it's difficult for them to survive for 30 to 40 years. Market trend change. Industry, you realize that they come and go. So sometimes whatever you are being trained for, you are very skillful of, right, you do for 20 years, and sorry, the business is not around anymore. Then you are 40 years old. You have a lot of commitment. You want to change lane, right, to equip another new skills, it's even tougher. So why would you not starting young, right? If you know that end outcome is this way. So I never went into this path, right? I went into self-employed. I went to insurance or financial planning, right? It's also not because I love to sell product, right? I don't like to sell product, right? I don't like to sell product. But I want to know that what is this business model brings me to. So the second option I chose, right, when I fresh from school, I realized that the possibility for me to become a self-employed, I mean owning my own business. If I'm capable enough, right, and I work hard, I can make a lot of money. So at a point of time in Singapore, we do not have much option for young people, right? Either you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to do business owner. It's hard for you to start any business in Singapore. Very difficult, very costly, and no network, no resources. And insurance probably is one of the best options then, right? No risk, right? You just need to invest your time. You need to become, train yourself to be good, to be skillful, you start to make money. So that point of time, because I don't have other choice, but I feel that this is the best option for me, right? So, but later then I find out, I think Derek shared yesterday about ESPI by Robert Kiyosaki. Then I realized, right, it's not really just self-employed, it's not really a business. Why? Because that it depends very much on you, right? Like lawyers, doctors, right? Even movie stars, right? And some of them very skillful, very, very, very capable. They draw high income. They make a lot of money. And today, right, some influencers, right, they can sell products or connect with people online. They make a lot of money too. But all this self-employed, which you realize that they make active income. Meaning that if they stop working, they do not have income anymore. So I started when I was 25, right, and reaching about 28, I got awakening. I was just thinking for myself, right, for the next 20 years, if I continue to do what I'm doing, right, would I be able to build a successful business without me, right? Like I mentioned to you, right, I was not here in January for the LTS. The business ran smoothly. In fact, today, Angela is not here, right? And Lydia was not able to be here also. For why? Because the reason why that we built a system such that you realize that we are able to run the business, right, eventually for everyone. So when I saw this, it is being a self-employed, right, it's an outcome no matter how no matter how good you are, at the end of the day, you realize it's back to zero. I began to be fearful for my future, right? The third category of people is business owners or entrepreneurs. The bigger your business, the higher the risk, especially that those involve a lot of investment, right? So if you cannot look into through 1 or 2 years, I know we are always excited about opportunities, But you need to look into the risk too. If you look into like 20, 30 or 30 years down the road, you don't just get hit once. You just get hit once, you're done. Just like the COVID crisis, right? And many of the business got wiped up. So if you were not careful, then you realize that there are a lot of business go wipe up. So you never know, right? Sometimes you think that you're doing well, but the next moment you realize that it could be wiped up. So I don't want to go through the kind of turbulence went up and that make millions of dollars, right? Then reinvest again for a bigger deal, 10 millions, 100 millions, right? Who knows? If you continue to play the game, one day you could become the victims. So I don't want to go through my life in such a cycle, right? So when I saw New Skin, I saw the possibility. I can start small by using the product myself, accumulate customers along the way, right? Building up my business partners, building up a team. Eventually you realize that because everyone have the same plan, they are not working for me. They are working for themselves. We are just alliances working together, right? So I have a lot of freedom. So I saw the possibility with this platform can give me the kind of exponential result, compounding result, right? And that potentially give me the kind of passive income or the cash flow we talk about in business. So this is something that I thought of, drawing for myself, not teaching a class. This is something I designed for myself, right? To visualize for myself that what are the possibilities for myself in the future. So this is the reality, right? This is the reality. So that's why it's very important for you to have an image, a vision in your head, right? You started to visualize it, right? Then you realize that slowly you will move towards a direction. So this is my starting point, right? Like every one of you, right? When I first started, to be exact, is in January 2001. I took about 2 years to become a $1 million COE members, another 3 years to become 5 million, then 10 million and 20 millions, right? It's not about the money that I'm talking about, right? Of course, money is important. But I just want you to understand that why, right? Why? Why is that so? Because if I already have the graph in my head, right, what my action will do is to navigate towards the direction. You agree with me? Yes or no? Right? Very simple. Right? All my focus, all my resources, all my energy was channeled into thinking, how could I move towards that graph? So you want to ask yourself, right, what are you thinking every day? Some of you are probably thinking that, right, I cannot even maintain the business. Right? So you need to start to cast a vision for yourself. What are the possibilities you want from this platform? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, right? And you must believe that it can be done, right? So there's something that, I think last night, Nicholas shared was so important, which I think relate to all the successful people, right? You become what you believe. I repeat again, if you cannot remember all the numbers, all the things that I show with you, right? But you want to take away these 2 days, right? You become what you believe. I repeat again, you become what you believe. So what you believe, slowly after sometimes you will become. So be very careful of what you believe, right? So if you ask me during this journey, right, do I get disturbed? Do I get, distracted? Very difficult, because I already have that kind of belief, right? So eventually you realize that this is what I become. Is it easy? Nothing is easy, right? This is the product that helped me to make the first 1 million, maybe even 5 millions, right? All this product, you never know what is it, right? Let me introduce to you first. This is called body bar. Okay? Like this, nowadays you realize that you're doing TR90 is so easy. Right? Eat a product, follow up closely, boom, transform, become big, become small. Easy. Right? Easy business. And you realize that, right, the volumes is big. I mean, in terms of business, the volumes is big, right? This one, I'm trying to get a replacement. No more stocks. Phase out already. Right? No more stocks. Then I began to regret because I never promote. Right? So this is, when I first started, we have this body bar. Okay? I don't know how much is that. I think it's about 10 PV. 10 PV, yeah? Right? So in those days, you realize that we have limited product. We don't have health products. We only have personal skincare products. So what I did with this product is that we call it body bar. Right? And you say that this one, right, you just need to put a little bit of water, wipe a little bit, you can use already. Then I was thinking as a businessman, wow, this one you need to use how long? 6 months, 1 year also cannot finish, right? Only 10 PV. 10 PV is about $20, maybe, Sing dollars. Eat grass. Means cannot, how do you be able to make money? Right? So when I started with this, right, in every presentation, the product presentation, we did a test, we do a litmus paper test. Because our skin has got pH 5.5. So our products, right, we are developing this body bar to be as close the pH value as your skin. So we use a litmus paper test to test that our body bar, our body soap is pH 5.5, which is suitable and healthy also for your skin. And it's only $20. Well, you can look at it as just a product, right? It's just a product. But it helps you to make $1 million or even more. Because I remember when I started with this, right, in a lot of new markets, in Singapore, Malaysia, even to China, right? Basically, you realize that these are the products that's available. We don't have spa, we don't have TR90, we have nothing. This is another product. These are the two products that I did demo. One of them no more already, called hairspray. Right? And that was the most impressive product demo that I do. Right? We use that, the spray, boom, go fire. The competitor brand, you realize that they all have alcohol, right? So you realize that alcohol made the lighter, boom, go fire. So can you imagine the hair, every day, boom. Right? Ours is aero-based, you know. It's like a fire extinguisher. They can extinguish the fire. So I only did 3 demo. Right? This is another one. Very easy. NAPCA moisture mist. Right? I need to promote a little bit before they phase out. This is also a very good product. Right? Just joking lah. I'm telling you all these stories because that I just want to let you know that, right? Nothing is easy. Right? So you need to have a vision, not just looking at the product. We all know that these are great products, but the most important thing is that what are the vision behind the products? Just like today, right? These 2 days we launched a TRME90. Right? We launched a TRME90. It could be just a product that you can use as a customers. Or do you have a vision for yourself for the next 10 years? That what this TRME90 can bring to you and your family. There's totally 2 different positioning. Right? So basically, this is how I started for my growth path. Right? And along the years, you realize that a testament of innovative product technology. They have spa, they have G3. G3, I make a little bit money also. Right? For those of you involved early together with us, we know that we promote a little bit of G3 in the early days. We don't have TRA, we don't have TR90, we have nothing. So it's not an excuse or reason, right, for you not growing the business. If you really understand that where are you going? Right? So, well, for some of you probably that, you are very sensitive looking into all these circles. Right? I wanted to give you another interpretation of perspective about how you should look into the business plan, right? And why this makes sense, right? You got to make sense first, right? So basically, you realize that, to me, right, I look into this as a property business, right? Property business, right? We are human being, right? Human being, we are intellectual. So probably that you can relate to intellectual property, right? Every individual, you realize that they are IP, they are intellectual property. So basically, you realize as you build, right, this network, just like owning a property. Can you imagine owning multiple property portfolios globally? You have some properties in Australia, you have some properties in Singapore, you have some properties in Malaysia, you have some property in Greater China, you have some properties worldwide, and the best thing is that you don't have to pay mortgage. Right? And the tenant pay rental every month on time. No worry about repair and all these costs, right? Isn't it amazing, right? In fact, they pay rental on time. For those of you who have property investment, right? Well, some people make money, some people lose money. I just don't have luck with property anyway, right? But anyway, you realize that being a property owner, you realize that you want to have diversified portfolio in every part of the world. So, for those of you who invest in property, I do not know why you invest, right? But most of the time, you realize that I heard people make money from property, so that's why I invest. So I summarize it. There are three motives of why people buying property. The first motive is for own use. Just like you buy TME90, right, for your own use. Right, so yeah, you need a place to stay. The second motive for people to buy property is for capital gains. That means they buy it 1 million, right? Hopefully you realize they can sell it 2 million, they make $1 million. Make sense to you? Right, the third motive for people owning a property is because they want to have a cash flow. Right, they want to have a rental income. So you realize that they buy a property. Many times you realize that they collect the renter. After that, they offset the mortgage payment, they still have a net cash flow. Is this a key motive of why people buying property? Anyone in property business over here? Right? I believe that these are the three key motives of why people buying property. Yes or no? Because of these three key motives, resulted that property business are doing pretty well. Because you need to have motivation for people to purchase, to buy, right? And property industry is doing pretty well, right? I want to draw same analogy for our business, right? When we first started with this kind of business, right, you use a product. So many people you realize probably are just buying a TME90 as a consumer. You use a product. This is one option. Or you can use this TME90 to build the business. Subsequently, you realize that you could have like 100 franchisee, 100 properties, right? You get rental income every month. Is it similar to property? Yes. And there could be also potential that if you want to sell your account away, right? There are people do that, right? In our business for the last 40 years, right? You build it up, you realize that you decided that you want to sell this account away, right? That's why it's an asset. It's just like a property portfolio. So you are owning an investment holding company that holds a lot of properties. Does it make sense to you? Right, so if you just think that, right, the 6th generation 5% is just a number or just a multi-level marketing business, probably you don't understand the business model that well. But the key thing is that how to build the portfolio, how to build it up, right? And you realize that how do you able to make the business sustainable? This is something that you realize that we need to learn. There's a know-how, and there's a reason why we are able to in business for so many years. Okay, so when you have vision, right? On the other hand, on the other spectrums, you realize that vision is futuristic. Vision is forward-looking, right? And many times you realize you need to visualize it. What are values? Values are historical, meaning it's another extreme, another spectrum. Values is something you realize that you do it over time, you invest it over time, the values will emerge only after some time. You get it? Right? So for most of the time, when you first started in the business, what is the most important thing is not values, it's the vision. It's the vision, right? But you need to know what are the values you will get at the end of the day. From who? From the people before us. So this is how I draw the inspiration, right? I want to see people before me, right? When I joined the business, I was 17 years old. That's why I don't want to join a startup. For many people who think that they're doing MLM, they think that I want to join a new company so that I will always be the top. What is the point of being on the top, but you realize that below there's no people? Right? What's the point of being on top? You realize that, right? 3 years later, they are gone. 5 years later, they are gone. So what we want to make sense in any business, you realize that from you starting the business, how many people we can add values to with our product technology and our rewarding opportunities. So basically, right, the values started to surface over years. Right? I just want to sum it up in 3L, right, to understand about the values of this business. The first one, to solve the livelihood, the subsistence level. For many people, you realize that, right, they make an income for them to survive. Right? The second one, the lifestyle. By lifestyle, I don't mean like owning big cars, houses. That is lifestyle, right? Lifestyle in different perspective, different area, different aspects, right? Lifestyle in terms of physical, health, right? Look, upkeep yourself is very important, right? Physical physical well-being, I think it's extremely important. The second one is mental well-being. Is mental well-being important? Yes or no? Right? Sometimes you realize that, right, you could be making a lot of money, or you don't have money, right? You realize that mental well-being is not good. And mental health has become a very, very challenging issue in the recent years. Yes or no? Right? But by involving in this platform, you realize, right, not only the physically well-being, but the mental well-being, it become more positive. I suppose that for those of you experienced since yesterday, you are experiencing a better positive vibes. Yes or no? You feel that you're more inspired. Yes or no? Can you imagine yourself that if you continue to be engaging in this kind of environment, positive, inspiring, do you have good energy? Yes or no? Or you go to office, right, dealing a lot of office politics, right, dealing a lot of all these issues, brings a lot of low energy, right? Physical, mental, and the last one, social well-being. Right? For many people who thought that, when they get to know about business model, they think that the first impression they will think that, I don't want to do this, right? I don't have friends anymore. Who tell you? My friends is getting more and more. Some of them I need to unfriend because I hit the limit already. Right? I don't know what you're doing. Now I go back to the Facebook, I see who are the people that are so active, I unfriend, right? So that I can add in new people. Right? So most of the time you realize that it's not about whether you have friends or not, it's about how you approach the business. You get what I mean? Right? So basically you realize that the lifestyle, we have a lot of friends, we have a lot of people, right? We have, and everyone have got common values, common interests, right? So I think that you can feel the energy yesterday, right? Well, just within that half day, attending the meeting, you realize that you can feel the kind of energy. These are all aligned energy. Why? Because it's all positive. The social well-being, the last part is legacy. It's very hard, right, for you to be involved, to find an opportunity platform that are able to give you these three together. Very hard. Right? Many times you realize that you probably need to find an opportunity or career to help you to make some money for livelihood. But you need to search somewhere to have a healthy lifestyle. Right? Or probably you realize that you want to build legacy, probably that you need to find another platform or opportunity for you to be able to build something, assets for your family members. This is a 3-in-1 solution for those of you who are lazy like me. Right? No point for you to search, but you realize that you find one, you realize you get all. So this is how I saw the business opportunity. That's why, and many of our leaders, we were so focused. So the real value of success, right, is the ability to improve other people's life. This is by accident. When I first started, I'm thinking to change my life. Not change other people's life, because my life was not that fantastic yet. It's normal. This is not called selfish, right? This is called normal. So if you think like that, you are also normal, right? But no choice, in our business by default, right? You don't become successful by not helping people. You need to help more people to slim down, follow up, slim down, right? You need to help more people to become successful, then you become successful. So the beautiful part about this business, after some years, you realize that, right? You change. And along the way, you realize that there are so many lives are being improved. Well, you could be very rich, makes a lot of money, but sometimes you realize that we don't add much value to other people's life. Right? You could make millions of dollars to stock market investment. Right? You can make some money, you realize that probably that, in stock property investment, but along the way, right, you only make money. But we are not able to add colors, life, values to other people's life. What I love in this business model after 20 over years, right, there are a lot of fulfillment is because as you are moving up, you lift up other people at the same time. I don't know about you, but I think this is so meaningful. Right? So this was me when I first started, right? This is exactly 27 years old. I can't imagine, right? If I'm not in the business, this is how I transform myself. Yeah, that was last year in Prague. This year, I went to London, right? I went to attend this leadership course. So I posted on social media, right? Posted on social media. I put all in, right? Some partners asked me that you went to NS. You know, Singapore got NS, right? I never, because I'm still a Malaysian. I'm a Singapore PR, right? I said, yes, I'm doing NS, new skin. Singapore has got national service when they go to 18 years old, right? But only started going at 52 years old. I'm 52 years. But still, okay, this is a lot of good experience in this platform, isn't it? Right? I don't think that, right, if I'm 52 years old, in other platform, I don't think that I will ever have this kind of life experiences. So life is not just about wealth and riches. Life, many times you realize, is about experiences they accumulated. So this platform makes me, right, so much more fulfilling. So in fact, I just came back from, after Dubai, I went to London, right, to attend some courses in Cambridge and Oxford. Yeah, and of course, a leadership course also requires me to drive tank. For some old friends, you know that I don't even have a driving license. Not having driving license is not an issue. The issue is that I don't know how to drive. Because some people know how to drive, they're just too lazy to get license, right? The problem, I really don't know how to drive. So at the first impression of thinking that going to drive tank, is like, when I posted on the social media, many people were asking, wow. See, sometimes you realize that, right, small car you cannot drive. Now you think, wow, this is some big tank, right? You think of like, wow, going to war, all these things must be very difficult, dangerous. I tell you, it's the easiest. See, we are bluffed by the appearance. Before I go, it's just like, wow, jialat. Can't even drive car, how to drive this one. At the end, you realize it's even easier than driving car. So many times you realize that we are actually scared off, right? We create fear for ourselves, which is not true, right? Which is not true. Real tank, the boss makes a lot of money this time because he got a lot of tanks there. So he sell to Ukraine. So the war make him become a millionaire. But I don't think this is the good money, right? I think we prefer pause for good money. Yeah. So that was the first time I attended team elite. How swaku, how kuku. So if I'm not in new skin, I would just like anyone. Just anyone. You see how life can be transformed, right? That's why I told you about why possibilities are so important. When you know that in any platform give you the kind of narrow, right, possibility, you also want to squeeze in. You work on your probability to move up, and your life is transformed. So this is exactly how we have transformed, right? We have more friends, starting from 1 or 2, right? And this is the latest one in Dubai. So if you ask me the values of the business, right, it's not just about money, right? It's more than just money. So my version of MLM is make life meaningful. Right, another values I share with you about legacy, right? So you need to think about what are you fighting for? Are you fighting for a successful career? That's it? Make money? Right? Or you want to build something at the same time, a legacy for generations. So this is a business that's possible for you, right? To build something for your loved one as a gift, right? And we have a lot of testimonies whereby, the early distributors, leaders, they pass on, right? They inherit, pass on to the next generation. So these are possible. Ask yourself, in whatever job you are today, you could be a GM of the company. After you retire from the position, can you tell your boss, I worked for you for 30 years, right? From the company, only one employee, I helped to grow to 10,000 employees, right? Can you reserve this GM for me? I retire for my son. My son just graduated. Top students some more. Is it possible? Tan kuku. It's not possible, right? For most of the business model or job, right, it's not possible, but this is possible, right? This is possible, right? So you need to start to think about, I believe all of you, right, if you work hard, you're capable, you acquire the skills, you can make money. No problem for you to make money. But I want you to start to think about, right? You want to make one-time income or lifetime income? By the way, this photo I took not from internet. This is also one of the places that we visited, right? By this castle or mansion castle, right? It's rather a castle than a mansion, that owned by Rothschild family, right, in UK. So this is also part of the course that we attended, to this visit to this place and share about legacy, right? I think for those of you who know about Rothschild family, right, you know about how well-to-do they are, not just by one generation, but generation of wealth. So this is also, we just attended, right? It's inspired me to think about, right? You just want to have one-time income or generation of wealth. For those of you think that never think so much about other people, you just think for yourself, right? Not an issue. You need to start to think that what if you live longer? I know some of you got money, right? Just not suay, just lucky that you live long enough until your money not enough. You know what? The problem right now is not about dying young. The problem right now is that you live too long. Money run out, right? And you want to maintain certain good quality of life, right? That's why you realize that retirement has become very important. You do not want to downsize, or you don't want to downgrade your lifestyle just that because you retired, you have no money to support, right? You want to realize that you can maintain or even upgrade your lifestyle if you want to. But that's provided that you have the means. Agree? Yeah. So whether do it for yourself, right, or do it for other people, right, there are a lot of values. So that concludes, right, my first 20 years in a business experience, partnering with this company, right? And we arrived in a very critical moment today, right? And this year we celebrated 40 years. We started in 1984, right? So 40 years, we moved to the new era called 4.0. So the same thing, the same questions, right, at this juncture, right, I begin to ask myself. You could ask yourself too, right? What are the possibilities? So I have this statement that I always remind myself, right? I read it somewhere, right? If I'm not wrong, it could be from Benjamin Franklin, right? It could be, right? So this is a statement talking about success is an ability first to recognize opportunity. Second, to form plans and strategy to leverage on the opportunity. Third, to build necessary skills to execute the plan and strategy. Which is the most important? Which is the most important? Hello? Are you still here with me? Which is the most important? I don't know about you, To me, the first one, the most important one is number one. Because you can develop a lot of skills, you have a lot of strategy, right? But you're not able to recognize a good opportunity. So your efforts are not being rewarded, right? So basically, recognizing opportunity is important. So we need to identify what are the good opportunities right now in the 4.0 era. Just like when I first started, right? New Skin was 17 years old. You know, my friends, people around me, and some of them involved in this industry, you say New Skin cannot do that. It's old skin already. Right? No new skin, it's old skin, 17 years old. But when I look into the platform, understanding about where they are, then I saw a lot of opportunities. Because that way back then, I just started in Singapore. Right? I saw a lot of potential. You realize that moving out from Singapore, a lot of possibility. But the other person who told me about New Skin, they look into it just as an MLM. I look into it as what? The possibilities of how I can add values, right, to my community and to the network. So, to me, at this moment of time, right, you need to identify, right? You need to understand that what kind of business we are in. We are not in MLM business. We are not in a network marketing business. We are not in direct selling business. We are in the business of helping people to solve problems and connect their needs or satisfy their needs. So you started to think about today's world, right? What are the problems? What are people's needs? Problem of having not enough money. The problem not just about having no money. You realize that they want to be happy, right? The problem about obesity, right? Do we have a solution to provide the needs or problems to them? If this platform have a lot of solutions that can help to connect the needs of the population, I will get the business. You got it? Right? So today with TRV90, you sort of think, what are the possibilities of TRV90? To solve the obesity problem, health issues, right? At the same time, building your own anti-aging business, or even some of you thinking of building your own global franchisee. These are a lot of possibilities. So you need to start to think in this angle, right, with the introduction of TRME and some of the new market opening, and some of the existing market, all of a sudden, you see a lot of opportunities. To me, 40-year-old company is just a proof that they are strong. They are trustworthy. They deliver their promise along the years, right? So what I love about this business is this thing called opportunity for all. It's not for the rich. It's everyone. Everyone can participate, right? For most of the market, you realize that of legal age of 18 years old, you can participate. It doesn't look into your degree, right? You want to apply for a job? No, right? If you do have a driving license, also can join. Okay, so basically you realize that not like you need to send in your CV and whichever and look in your profile before you can join. Everyone can participate. So when everyone can join, meaning that every one of us has an opportunity, that means we have the access to the possibility. The rest is up to you. I find this business model is so great, so inclusive, so embracing. If an opportunity given to only the rich will get richer. Agree? Right, but that doesn't mean that the rich cannot join the business, because the rich, when they have more resources, of course, they also have some advantage. But the key point over here is that realize that this is equal is because every one of us have an opportunity. This is why I feel so proud about this business model, meaning that we can help a lot of people. Right? Well, next, right, I think that as we move on to the 4.0 era, right, we have another important market is going to open, right? Likelihood to be the Q4 next year, 2025, right, which is India. I hope that I know that India no need much introduction, right? Right, so basically, let's look into some of the numbers of India, right? Some of you may have some Indian friends. Some of you, do we have any Indian friends in the crowd here? We have any Indian friends? Can you put up your hands? We have a couple. Not many yet, right? Just a few of you, right? So in case I say wrongly, you can correct me, yeah? Right? So these are all available on online, but I think that these are all accurate because these are all from experts, right? So basically, the top 5 economies right now, India, number 5. What is more exciting is that they have the largest growth, right? Look at the growth curve, right? Annual GDP growth. India is 7.2%, way ahead of the first, second, third, and fourth. So by the rate they are going, you realize that can only climbing up the ranks, getting more affluent, right? So that's based on economy. 1.4 billion people. I think I don't need to tell you how many people. It's a lot of people, right? Some of you stay in Singapore, you say very crowded now. Right? Because Singapore is more. Yeah, Singapore is very crowded, right? Now it's about 5-6 million people, very crowded. So I want you to start to imagine 1.4 billion now. By the time you go, probably 2 billion already. Right? Because I think they don't have this birth control policy. China has got birth control policy like 20 years ago. Right? That's the reason why India has overtaken China as the biggest population country in the world, right? So, look at some numbers are interesting. 65% of population under 35 years old, right? These are 910 million people, millennials and Gen Z, 440 million millennials. So literally, you realize that what this means is that there are a lot of young people, right? We all know that every country wants young people, because young people will be the future pillars of the economy. So when you work in a market whereby you realize that there are a lot of young people, huge population of young people, means that this country or this organization probably they have some potential growth for the future, right? Because it's not aging population. Even for China right now, right? The population structure is aging population. Okay, so this is the interesting numbers. 300 to 355 million of middle class, right? Middle class, you realize that they are starting to be able to afford to spend. And what is expectation, right? Middle class will double in the next 20 years. Meaning that there'll be more and more people that are able to spend, right? In any country, right, the more middle class, the more stable is the country, right? So more stable. So when you have a rising middle class, right, the affluence, the power to spend, right, will be going up. Okay? So middle class income, right, now is about 50% of China, but as you know that they're going to double, right, for the next 20 years, meaning that they are catching up in terms of the ability to spend. And more interestingly is that 1.2 billion out of 1.4 billion are internet users. So what are the possibility of internet users means that you can connect with them, right, easily, even through online. So this exciting, right? And in terms of this industry, by direct selling, 3.2 billion is still very small, right? But they are growing at 13% compound growth. 12 million population, you don't know how big is this? Just make a comparison, right? US, a more established market, right? They started this industry earlier. Of course, they are about 200 to 300 million population compared to India, 1.4 billion, right? That means that additional by at least 1 billion more. But if you look at the numbers, right, in comparison, you know that this country has a lot of potential for growth. Yes or no? A lot of potential, right? So basically, what are the key segments, right? That means the popular one. 74% on wellness. Wellness means that nutrition, right? 17% on beauty. So add up together, it's already like 91%. And the rest is 9%, right? So basically, this is a top company right now. Some of the companies are pretty familiar to us, right? Company H, they're doing about 800 million, right? 800 million. So literally, we realize that why they are doing well is because of what? Wellness. Something that we are very familiar, right? The weight management business is picking up. So let's look into not just the country. I think the country numbers you would know, right? So what is the solution that we have? So if you look at a lot of media, a lot of reports, right, on the rise of obesity issues in India, big issue. Okay, look at the numbers. The upward trend of obesity in India. Do you think Indian people need our TME90? Yes or no? Yes. Singapore, Malaysia, Korea, especially from Singapore and Malaysia, right? I think yesterday Belinda have shared. We are the #1 weight management brand. Company H is no way close to us. Do you think that, right, we can repeat the same thing in India? Only some of you are confident, some of you are not confident. The money will go to those people who are confident. Loss of opportunity, right? So basically, I'm going to show you, right, what I went through. I went through a few markets of opening. I went through China opening. I went through Malaysia opening. I went through Indonesia opening. I went through Vietnam opening, right? And this is a new market in India. So just want to share with you my path, right, my perspective when I first started. So any times that when you have this kind of opportunity, right, it's not quickly they want to share to other people. It's about you need to form a picture in your head, right? What is the potential vision? So in the early days when I first started China market, way back in like 20 years ago, in 2002, wow, so old already, very fast, huh? 2002, yeah. So when we know about market like China opening, right, face a lot of challenges also, but there's a lot of potential. So I started to ask myself, what are the possibilities? Right? Like, that's why you see that my thinking is always about what are the possibilities, not what are the problems. I know some of you coming here, right, think that after you go back, you say, what are the problems? Then you never learn anything. Right? For me, you realize that I started to think, what are the possibilities? Right? Just like, you know, I do the graph for myself, right? I came out with a perfect 10 plan in China when I was promoting a China business, right? And that plan was not to tell other people. That plan is in my head. Right? It's for me. Right? It's for me. But in our business, you realize that it's a sharing business. Right? Do you want to know about this perfect 10 plan? Right? I draw inspiration from this plan is because that the huge market potential of this market. Right? For those of you some of the bidders who participate in China market, probably that you can relate what I shared in the past. Right? So this is what I tell myself. Right? I call it the perfect 10 plan when I first started. The first trying to formulate the vision right within my head and what are the possibilities. I was asking myself, right? With this 6th generation 5% of new skin comp plan, what are the possibilities? Say, for example, I started on this journey. Out of 1 billion population in China, I just find one China partner. Is this possible? Only 5 people think it's possible. Right? Out of 1 billion people, you just find one China people who want to commit and build a business. Is it possible or not? Of course lah. Right? Sure it's possible. These China people, right? China committed builders, right? China being so big, right? Is it possible for them to get 10 people business partner for themselves? Yes lah, but Singapore very difficult lah. Right? Brunei lagi difficult lah. Right? But China's so big, right? And being a Chinese there, Chinese and Asian by nature, you realize that we are more socially connected, right? I think it's not difficult for them to get 10, right? So, and these 10 Chinese people, right? Would there be possibility for them to have 10 business partners? Yes. So 10 times 10 would be 100, right? So this 100 million Chinese, right? Would they be able to also find 10 business partners for themselves? There will be 1,000. This 1,000, right? Will they be able to find 10 people along the way? Possible, right? Then you have 10,000. By the 6th generation, by just starting from one committed one, potentially you will have 100, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You really won. That's why it's 1. That's why I realize that a lot of times, right, when you send in the kind of positive energy, really a 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? You really won. So based on this illustration, for myself, I was just giving a lot of imagination, right? With the new skin composition plan, and if everyone did 3,000 volumes, there is a potential earnings of 16 million per month. So I was asking myself, what kind of business I need to do, right, to invest, to have this kind of possibility. But at least there's a possibility over here. But whether there's how high is the probability, I need to work on that. So this is based on my imagination, right? My imagination, I started to think about it because it's huge, right? So I asked myself, okay, this is too much. Sometimes you realize that we think it's too much, right? That's why they don't give to you. In the worst case scenario, so I tell myself, because most people don't believe one, right? If only assuming that, right, worst case scenario, only of 1%. Fair enough. Huh? See, they say, you have to think fair. Good, 1% is good. Right? Not 99%. 1% is good, right? If you have only 1%, it's 1,111 franchisee. And that is about 160,000 US dollar per month. Is that good? Okay lah, not bad lah. After listening to 16 million, drop to 160,000. Okay lah, boleh tahan lah. There are people who believe in my plan, right? They already become success stories. Well, it's not I'm brilliant, it's not I'm smart, it's just because the plan being the plan, right? If you are able to do that, the company will just pay you the money. The question is that, are you able to do it? Yes or no? Right, so when I recall back in those days, about 20 years ago, when I first started, right, I was looking into this, I pinned the dreams into myself. So when India is going to open in 2025, I realized it's the same thing. Right? In fact, you realize that India today is just like 20 years ago China. Right? 20 years ago China was not that, it's also a developing country, not really growing up yet. So to me, it's that history repeats itself. It's just that who is going to be the winner. That's all, right? So the next one, what we need to do is just to change to India. Huh? Right? We just need to change to India, right? Would it be possible for you to find just one committed Indian partner in India? Yes. So the rest is the same. Why? Because you have the numbers. Right, you have the numbers. So by this, it creates a lot of possibilities. Right? I can begin to visualize for the next 10 and 20 years. Right? What kind of possibility? And the best things about Indians or Chinese, right? They are everywhere. Everywhere, right? You realize that you don't have to start from India, right? In fact, these are extra incentive for those of you, right, who started to share with some of the Indian origin, the overseas Indian, right? You can get started with our products, right? With the kind of possibility the potential in the market. So these are for the first year in the business in India opening, right? Company will share certain percentage of profits to the pioneer, so-called the pioneer leaders who help to build the market. But I think what is more important is the long-term, right? It's a long-term income potential that you have when you build out the market. So what we do right now is that, right, you can start to build on the local, because overseas Indian, we have so many Indians. Right? You can start creating your Indian builders together with you, right, through our product. So what you need to do right now is to start building your community of consumers, right, and the partners. Is it difficult? No. They need Tiami 90. So you start in a local market of Indians, not asking you to buy an air ticket to fly over to India. No need, right? But you realize that building up a global Indians community, right, that you realize that and be ready by the market opening. So this is something you could do right now, not waiting and thinking, okay? With the global connectivity today, we talk about internet, right? Everything has become more possible. When I first started in China, we don't have social media. Right? The only way for me to communicate is to physically meet. You know how challenging is it in terms of the infrastructures, the access? But today you realize that you are building your business with new skin. You can reach out everywhere in the world. Global connectivity is there. So by right, this is even easier now than then. Last time, when I sent a message, SMS, 60 cents, Sing dollars, right? For those of you who are younger, you cannot understand, huh? You cannot appreciate, you cannot understand. Don't appreciate, depreciate, right? So, how are you? Okay, 60 cents. Yeah, right? You do follow up, right, for my China interested prospect or whichever, right? How are you doing today? Right? One okay is 60 cents. Expensive to build a business. But today you realize that all these things are free. So when you start to think about possibility, right, and less problems, you will probably become the winner. When you start to think of the problems, right, not familiar with the culture, not familiar with all the people there, right, then you realize that you are creating something over here for yourself. The issues, the challenge, right? So basically, not just within India we talk about, right? In 4.0 era, we have a lot of opportunity. Like talk about global connectivity, right? It's all about building community. It's all about building community. In fact, in early days when we first started the business, I started from Singapore, we extended to Malaysia. The next market, we go to China, we start building the China community. Right? Start building the China community. By the way, right, when we first started, all this movement that we created along the years, right? I think we have the first overseas market we extended is Malaysia. We have some of our Malaysian leaders here, Mr. Chua, Nicholas, right? Andy, who else? Desmond Teo, right? These are some of our Malaysian leaders who chose to believe in the early stage. You know, they become successful today. And in China, right, we have some of our leaders over here, right? You know, Henry is here, Pauline, Manho, Billy is here, right? Cynthia, and all these leaders, Desmond also, right? For those of leaders who saw the perfect 10 plan, right? They started to build a community. So in fact, over here in Indonesia, it's the same thing, right? In Indonesia, when we first started, until today, even though sometimes you realize that this existing market that we opened, you may not have the opportunity or the faith to get to know about this opportunity, like Indonesia, right? I think Hendra and Melina is here. Hendra is going to do sharing, right? The same thing, you realize that they only started in Indonesia after almost like 7-8 years when Indonesia opened. They literally only started in 2013, right? But Indonesia started in 2005. So what I'm going to tell you is that, right, by India opening doesn't mean that, right, 10 years later there's no opportunity. And today, right, in fact, many of them think that they're Indonesian. They are actually Singaporean because they converted to Singaporean. They moved back to Indonesia to build. Right, shall we give all these leaders a warm round of applause by the example? So we built, even in Malay market, right, our emerging market, when we first started in 2013, right, in 2013, in Malaysia, we started to think that, right, we want to start to build the Malay market. Just in 2013. Malaysia started in 2001. That means it's like 12 years later, right? And a group of people, they are inspired. They want to start to build the Malay market. And today, we have a lot of Malay market over here, Malay leaders over here. Can we give a warm round of applause for them? That was just like 10 years ago. This is what I mean by community building, right? A group of people you realize with common vision, common interests, common dreams. When they come together, they create magic. And I know that there are a lot of Malays today, even in Singapore, right, in Malaysia, or even elsewhere. They started to be inspired not just within Malay. They started to be inspired and they want to be a global Muslim community. Wow. So all are possibles, right, in our platform. There are so many, right, so many possibilities you realize that, right, you can connect with the people that you like, right, to build a huge community through the New Skin platform. So this is what I mean, that the power of communities, the emerging, and the best thing is that we have a lot of experience in building community. Recent years, we revisited some of the market that opened earlier, like Pacific market, and those of you who came from Australia, right, many of you, I know you start coming back. Right? Australia is a market that even opened earlier than Singapore and Malaysia. But today, right, we have an emerging group of leaders coming from Australia. Where are you? Right? Yeah. You know, this group of people, you realize that potentially, right, they can build a huge Pacific market. Europe. Right? Europe market, we have some of them coming this time around, right? For your information, EMEA market itself has got 700 million population. Right? Excluding Russia right now, right, which is in war, there's a good about 500 million population. Is this small? No. It's also a market, a region for us to revisit because there are still a lot of people in need of our opportunities. How about Middle East? Do you know Middle East has got how much population? How many population? 500 million. 480 plus, right? About 500 million population. And this market is totally empty, right? None of the Middle East countries open yet. So there is another possibility, a new market that's opening. So if you started to look into possibilities, it's never-ending opportunities. Never-ending opportunities. So when people ask me, those outsiders or people who do not know, not familiar with the business, right? They tell me that New Skin still can do it 40 years already. Or in Singapore, they have been 24 years. Depends how you look into it, right? If you just look into Singapore, whatever you do is small. It's got nothing to do with whatever business. It's small. But do you have a platform, a vehicle that allows you to build a global business? That is the key, right, with the social media today. Okay? I think opportunity is there, definitely, right? The key thing is that you need a support group. You agree? Sometimes entrepreneurship can be lonely. You need to have the kind of support. I think what is great about ST over the years is that we built out a very powerful, right, proven support system that support each other. Like today, as you attend this 2 days event, right, this is actually provided by the system. It's from the support group, and many people are involved in the meeting, right? You see a lot of crew, a lot of IT. These are the people just like you. They were not professionals, huh? Sorry, they are not IT. They are not, all these people are just like you. They pay their own ticket, okay? They come and attend this. At the same time, they are also helping us as a crew. Can we give all these people a round of applause? Right? We built an amazing support group today to help you to build your business, not just offline, right? Some of the online meetings that we have, right? So that is giving a lot of confidence that why every one of us can become successful. That's why we dare to say, right? Our success can be duplicated because we have a proven system, right? So basically, just want to share a little bit on how our positioning of our system, because industry evolve. Do you agree? Right? Industry transform. So I think, right, what we did right at the start is that we never just think of like creating a system, just create a name or a success together by just a name. But I think we are very intentional, right? When we build up this system is that what is the objective that we want? We want to professionalize the industry. Because we also agree, right? We also see that some of the practitioners in the business, in the industry, the quality is pretty low, right? In doing any business, you realize that we need to be objective. We need to look into the good side and the bad side. So we will be thinking, if the business plan is so good, the product is so good, right? The problem is not about the business plan or the business model. The problem is the people who are building the business. You agree with me? Right? They're not being trained. They're not being equipped. So in a way, I saw the opportunity, right? I think that, right, if we could potentially professionalize the industry, do you think that we'll be able to attract better talents? Do you think that better talents will want to migrate, right, to see the possibility they can build over here? Yes or no? That is why 20 years later today, you look at the profile of the people involving in our business, it's totally different from what you've seen from other companies in this industry. That's the reason why. Because people attract people. And this is intentional that we build that. That's the reason why we spend a lot of effort in building this thing up. In fact, right, I went to MIT, I went to this West Point, right, including this time around to this London, and all these courses together. Our intention basically realized that we want to build STU, this branding, to help to elevate the standard and the quality of our leaders. We are not just thinking about, okay, how much money you can make. Yeah, right? How much money you can make is already no need to say one. We work hard, you can get. But the key thing is that, can we make a difference? Right, share with you something, right, that's very interesting, like the Dubai story, when the success of Dubai inspired others. Today, with the success of ST, right, and New Skin in Singapore. Last time, any companies, any American companies, when they come to Asia, the first market is Hong Kong or Japan. Today, right, any companies they come, the first stop is Singapore. Why? Why do you think so? Because we create a success so significant that it creates a lot of attention on why Singapore is so successful. You understand what I'm saying? Right? I think we have the objective of lifting up the image, right, the professional image of this industry, so that in the future, right, when people are getting involved in our business and platform, none of them will say that, here, no standard one. You understand what I'm saying? Right? So this is what we are doing. The last part, right? How much time do I have? No timer. I overshot already. Right? Anyway, right, I think I shared a lot about the possibility with this platform and the support that we have over here, right? The last part, ultimately, is still you. Agree? you can walk away with different kind of thinking and perspective, right, for the same meeting. I just shared in Dubai this time around. I was being interviewed to talk about, I still have 15 minutes. So anyway, I just talk about this part, right? A parting message to you guys. I just shared this in Dubai, right, for the global leaders meeting. They interviewed me about India market because I have some experience in opening some new markets. So they asked me to share on my success formula. Right? I think that the sharing over there that probably that can help to benefit our brothers and sisters over here, because this is, again, it's not motivation. It's purely my own perspective, purely on my own thinking, right? That what I think is important. So this is a parting message for you, right? For those of you, whether you choose, right, to start on a new market or whether you want to start on the existing market, right? There are a lot of opportunities, but the success formula is always the same. Right, so what are the success formula? Right, I give you a 4D. 4D, not buying numbers. I'm not going to give you numbers. Because numbers you buy, you only make once. Right, I give you this 4D, right, you make lifetime income. So what are the 4Ds? After you listen so much, right, I think the first D, you need to find back your dreams. Okay? The older you are, the harder it is. Right? Notice that when you are younger, you are more bold. You think big. You think a lot of possibility. The older you are, you have more setback. You have more challenges. You have more problems, right? And these dreams applies to whether you are starting on a business right now or you're already building the business for some time. Why I say that, right? The reason why that I participated in a lot of market, this opportunity is because I was serving my goal. Right? I was moving my ranking. I was serving my goal. So if you realize that if you don't bring back your dreams, right, you cannot connect the opportunities. It's just facts and information. There's no feeling. Right? So the first thing, the most important thing is that you may think that you come here at 10, you want to learn this and learn that and learn that. I tell you, no use. No use. Well, all these things can only help you to support you. But the most important thing you realize that the first thing you need to go back to revisit is that, do you still have dream? Right? What is the dream that you used to have? When you want to achieve it? How can New Skin Platform is a possibility for me to fulfill this dream? So this is something that you need to bring it back, right? It's something that's connecting to your heart, your feeling. Right? I think this is the most important. This is the most important. Right? These 2 days is only give you a solution. But if this one you never bring back, you will not have feeling. Second thing is that desire. When you start to bring back your dreams again, right, you need to level up your desires. Do proactive action that fuel the desires. Choose environment, right, to support your desire, to fuel your desire. Be very intentional. Some people draw your energy away, run away. Right? For me, in my pursuit the success in this journey, right, I never give anyone chance of speaking anything, any negativity towards in my ear. No chance. Right? Don't think that you are strong enough, right? You can hear whatever you want. Anything that you hear repeatedly for many times, you realize that you form a different kind of belief. So you need to be very intentional what you want, right? The vision, the what you want. Then you need to do and stick with the people who support your vision. Sing the same language, right? Same tune, reinforce your belief, and that's how you realize that you can become focused. Right? Most people feel, you realize that, they want to revisit back. Right? When they go back, you realize they got distracted. People say this, people say that. And sometimes you realize that they are your loved ones. The people that love you the most. Right? Very emotional. But, people who love you the most doesn't mean that they really know what you want in the future. It could be your parents. It could be your loved ones. Sorry. Only you know yourself. That's why you need to find back your dreams. Right? And bring back the desire. Whether you listen to some of the recordings, the people who have made it, come to the environment. Anything that's not related to your success and choosing, helping you to support your path towards this direction, forget about it. Just cut off totally, right? The third one, decision. You got to make a decision, right? Make one decision. Because after 2 days, if you don't make a decision, you're just coming here to see show. Just like watch a show, performance, right? Well, it's okay, right? It's okay, right? You have good experience. But the key thing is that for some people, right, if they're searching, you need to make a decision. But don't always keep on changing decision. You just only in Newsgate is very simple. A simple business that you cannot imagine that, right? You just need to make one decision. The difficult part is to stick to it. Most people, you realize that today they make one decision, the next day they make another decision. You cannot achieve anything. You're just wasting time, right? Keep yourself think that you're very busy, but you will not achieve anything. Right? So you need to make a decision. But that is provided that, right, you have dreams. You already visualize what is a possibility, right? So if you really want to become successful, right, you need to make decision. And sometimes big results come with big decision. The last one, lastly, I'm very kind to you. I use the word determination. My real formula to become successful in this business is do or die. Yeah. Because, right, if you are normal, that means that you never achieve any significant things in your life before. Right? If you want to achieve something that's significant, that is called miracle. Agree? Because you are very mediocre, you are only achieving very, very normal things in your life for past many years. And now, all of a sudden, you think different. You want to achieve something that is beyond. You've never done it before. That is called miracle. So miracle, if you want to create miracle, means that you realize you want to have different kind of attitude. Right? Determination is a more neutral word that most people can accept it. Right? But when you come to a level whereby do or die, right? Meaning that you realize that if you do it well, you realize that you are just living as if that you are just, you are not living your life to your fullest, right? You are not fulfilling what you really want in this life, right? So this is the 4D. I want to give it to you, the parting message for you guys. For those of you who are searching, for those of you who are seeing a lot of things over here for the last 2 days, the last one, the exact message that I shared in Dubai trip, right? The last one is ACT. A-C-T. I think ACT everyone know, right? Action. Making action, right? So what my definition of ACT means? First, you need to activate yourself. Right? Don't go back and tell people, wow, this is good, that one is good. No use. Because they are not here. Right? They are not here. They did not go through the whole process. No use. The one person you need to settle is yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Are you activated? If you are not activated, you go back trying to tell other people, no use. You're being speculating. You're thinking that, if I tell someone they're interested, then, wow, what lah? You are a speculator. You are not a business builder. In any genuine business builder, right? Anything that you want to build for long term, for something big, right? You need to be first activated, then you get passionate. Because you form belief, right? You started to see the vision, and you know how to influence. So you need to be activated, right? C stands for committed. You cannot achieve anything without commitment. Most people, they are just cruising, right? No way. Committed people, right? They see a lot of opportunities and possibilities in their field of work. where a lot of people see challenges and problems. Like I told you, we are in the business of solving problems, right? And connecting needs or satisfied needs. So when a lot of people see problems, the community people see a lot of opportunities for growth. That is different. And many times you realize that, right, problems are in disguise of hidden opportunities. Most people, they try, right? You know, they're not successful, they fail, they think it's difficult. But they never go deeper to find out why successful people can become successful. You just tell them they cannot do it. When you go a little bit deeper and deeper, you find the answer. But most people, you realize that what they do is that they like to scratch here and there, right? Nothing go deep. Nothing go deep. So when you started to be committed, all of a sudden, you saw a lot of people that can connect. A lot of people can help them to solve the problem, right? Whether it's obesity, whether it's financial. You know, you start to see a lot of opportunities. The last one is time in the business, right? Not timing, right? In fact, a lot of people think that, you know, in anything that you build, right, you need to build over time. You need to invest your time. So act is not like impulsive act. Today you realize, oh, you know, this is the best business, right? By time means that you need to start investing time. You could start on a part-time right now, right? Drafting your goal, your short-term goal, but you need to eventually spending more and more time, right? Time invested in a business, time in the market is more important than the timing. I've seen people who joined earlier, they not become successful. Not because you join earlier, you become successful. That's a myth, right? I have people who join earlier than me, they are not successful. So it doesn't mean that you are early. You know, I see people who started in the later part, right? Hendra started 10 years later, almost 8 years later, right? He saw the TR90 potential, nobody doing TR90 in Indonesian market. Many people think it's very expensive, very difficult. He saw the opportunity, saw the vision, he go back, he started his community. So it's never about difficult or problems, right? It's about whether you see the opportunities. So you started to spend time bidding on it, then you carve a niche, right, in the market. You started to be able to connect your stories to other people, and that is how you build up your community. You got it? Right? I don't know whether you get how much you get, right? It's a lot of things for you to digest this morning, right? Just going deep. In fact, this morning I do a lot of deep diving on some of my experiences in building the business, because I think that the mindset and the attitude is the most important in building the business, right? Because the rest you don't have to worry, because all the things are all being taken care by New Skin company, right? And taken care by ST. All you need to do is just to follow with massive action, right? If nobody have done it before, then that is tough. If people before me have done it before, I think it's easy, right? All I need to do is that I work harder, like what Nika shared, right? You know, if we don't know how to do the business, we work harder than other people. 3 times, 5 times, or 10 times harder. And we will be able to catch up. And many times you realize that, right, you can even overtake. So this is something that a message that I want to give all of you, right? Not just coming here to attend a convention, but hopefully you can catch something to change your life and change your family's life, right? So we are all in. Are you all in? Yeah, only 20%. Are you all in? More like it. I think now we have about 80%. Okay, with that, I want to close my sharing for this morning. Thank you for your time. See you in the next convention.